Hello everyone, Mr. Chu here with Bear Algebra. Make sure you subscribe to me so that you can see more of my algebra videos at YouTube at Mr. Keith E. Chu. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram, also at Mr. Keith E. Chu. So today we're going to talk about the order of operations, very important lesson in the beginning of an algebra class. Most people in elementary school were taught PEMDAS. What does the P stand for? Well, they teach students that it means please, and that is just so they can remember what the P stands for. But the please really is parentheses. The E, they teach students in some schools to remember that that's excuse, and it's really exponents. So I'm just going to put 2 to the second power to show you that it means an exponent. And then M is my. This means multiply. And then the D stands for dear, and that would be to divide. The A stands for aunt, which means to add. And then the S stands for Sally, and that means subtract. So the problem that students have sometimes when they first learn this, they don't realize that the multiply divide is left to right, and the add subtract is left to right. So let's look at some examples here. So I'm going to do 2 examples, erase it, and then maybe do 2 more if we have time. So in example 1, it has 3 plus 8 squared divided by 4 times 2. Do you add, do an exponent, divide, or multiply first? So are there any parentheses in this? Not in example 1. Are there any exponents? Because we're going to go in this direction. There are exponents, so you do the exponents first. So 3 plus 8 squared means 8 times 8. And we know that 8 squared, 8 times 8 is 64, divided by 4 times 2. Now we've already said there was no parentheses. We've already done the exponents. Now we're going to do multiply and divide from left to right. So from left to right, which is first? We divide. And it does change your answer if you do it wrong. So 64 divided by 4, because that's what I'm doing now. 64 divided by 4. 4 goes into the 6 one time. 4 goes into 24 6 times. The 0 means that there's no remainder, so that is 16 times 2. Now what do? Well, we've already gotten all over to multiply, divide, so is there any more multiply or division? Yes, there is. We're going to do this next. 16 times 2 is 32. 3 plus 32 is 35. So that is example 1. Now we go to example 2. I'm going to erase this part and leave this up here. In example 2, we are going to have 4 times the quantity 3 squared plus 11 divided by 5. So the first thing we ask, are there any parentheses? Yes, there are, right here. Then inside that parentheses, is there any more parentheses? No, just the one set. So then, are there any exponents? Yes, there is. So we've got to do the exponents first. 3 squared is 9. So we just did the parentheses and we did the exponents. Well, are there any more parentheses? Yes. So we have to do the parentheses. 9 plus 11 is 20 divided by 5. All right, so now we've done all of our parentheses. This parentheses here just means multiplication. I can rewrite this like this. And that's an important distinction here. So now we're to multiply, divide left to right. So I multiply first. 4 times 20 is 80. Now we're going to do this division. So 80 divided by 5. 5 goes into the 8 one time. Five goes into the 36 times. So that ends up being a 0 down there. So the answer is 16. So here are my first 2 examples. I do believe that I'm going to do another video, a second video, to show you example 3 and 4. There will be a link to it. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. During the whole YouTube video, if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a link down in the corner. And then at the end, there's also another link. If you're watching me on TikTok, make sure you follow me. You can also follow me on Instagram too, although those are shorter videos. So I am Mr. Chu. This is Bear Algebra, the order of operations, and this is example 1 and 2. I'm going to do example 3 and 4, and I want to show you something. Bear, come here. Let's show him. This is Bear. Bear is the reason that I call this Bear Algebra. You'll hear him cough every once in a while. I'll tell you, don't get choked up over algebra, and you'll hear him whining a little bit. So stay tuned. I'm Mr. Chu, and I want to help you. See you next time for example 3 and 4.